Welcome back to Nile Cruise, coming to you from the grounds of the 49th round of the Cairo International Book Fair in Nasr City. And we're looking into the book fair, we're looking into the various activities taking place in it. And now I'm happy to have with me Mr. Samy Farhat, and he is member of the 73 Historians, which is a group of Egyptian youth and patriots who aim at enhancing as well as also showing and raising the awareness about the heroic acts in Egypt, as well as countering falsifications and false history, as well as false news spread about Egypt. They are also holding a variety of activities as part of the 49th session of the Cairo International Book Fair. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you. I'm happy to be here with you once more.
Thank you, Mr. Samy.
Thank you, sir. One of the group's production is a film called 418. What's the story about this film?
Well, Battalion 418 is one of the productions of Group 73 Historians, and it is documenting one of the heroic actions during the war of October 1973. It's telling the story of one of the air defense battalions on the front that was located in Port Said, which is during about 7 days, downed about 17 Israeli aircrafts. So the film is about the story of this battalion, heroic battalion.
I understand that you will also be holding a symposium with the real heroes who are still alive of this battalion. Would you tell us more about the upcoming activity, and how did you prepare for such an important event to be able to locate the heroes and contact them?
You're talking about the event of today's, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is an annual feast, the Cairo International Book Fair. So we couldn't miss such a chance to introduce our work and to spread our message among the public. So today we have arranged a private display of the movie, Battalion 418. We have invited a group of war veterans, Egyptian war veterans, about 30 of them. We're going to honor them today. By now, the movie is about to finish, and the honoring is about to start a few minutes from now. As I told you, this is a great event, and we wanted to spread the message. So in such a grouping of people, of the Egyptian people, the invitation was public. So anyone could join us inside there in the movie hall.
Sir, regarding the children, do you have any documentaries raising the awareness of the young children about the 6th of October victories?
Any what, sorry?
Any documentaries?
Any documentaries,
for the
yes.
for the kids?
Of course, yes. Well, as you know, the Group 73 Historians is interested in documenting the Egyptian military history and spreading this knowledge among everyone, every Egyptian citizen, and even to humanity. As you know, Egypt is not just a little country. It's a great nation, and it has its contribution since the dawn of history for the whole humanity. We started to hold seminars like today's. We have published the book. But this was not enough. As you know, the new generations are not very interested in reading. So we had to go through a new path, closer to their hearts. During our seek to spread the message of knowledge of the Egyptian military history, we have produced 4 movies up till now, 2 documentaries, Wings of Furies 1, Wings of Fury 2, and Ababil, and finally Battalion 418. So yes, we have documentaries for the new,
Now, Throughout the past few days, you must have visited several of wings. You have seen the participation. So tell us more about your personal impression about this year's book fair.
Well, I was impressed. The interest of people is I couldn't come through the gate when I was coming. I had to stop in a very long queue. This is a good sign. New generations, and most of the attendees are of the young youth. So to be interested in such an event, this is a good sign. Yes, they are interested in knowledge. We have to encourage that.
Sir, what are the most important heroic actions that you have documented so far, and they touched the heart of anyone who watched the film?
Actually, every and each story is heart-touching. We have documented personally. I have documented with General Nasr Salim. He was in Battalion 9 behind enemy lines, and he had such a great story to tell. Him and his small group who were entitled of reporting to our lines what's happening behind enemy lines, how many times they were exposed to death, losing their lives. This is just one. I cannot tell the story. It's a long story. We have Zarad, which is an Egyptian soldier who sacrificed his life for the sakes of entering one of the fortified enemy points on the Barlev line. We have General Samir Aziz, one of the greatest aviators on MiG-21 jet fighters. We have many and many stories. You can go through our public website, which is group73historians.com on the internet. We have everything documented there.
Now, you've mentioned that you've published a book. Would you tell us a bit about that book, please?
Well, the book was named Gold النسور الذهبية.
عصور ذهبية, the Golden Ages?
Yeah. It was telling the stories of the Egyptian pilots. It's full of stories, small stories, little stories, but it is rich. Yeah.
Sir, what's your evaluation for the history being taught in our education, and especially for the kids and the younger generation? How do you see it?
I don't see it at all. It's not there. It does not exist. And from my place here and with you, ladies, I would like to call for our administration to pay special attention. This is part of the awareness that we want to implant in the minds of the Egyptian youth. How come we have a great history? How come our youngest do not know anything about their history? The youth that we meet in our seminars and on the streets and in our social occasions, they have no idea. They don't know how great their country is. They don't know anything about their history. If you ask them about one of the historic events that is not that old, maybe the war of 1973, they have no idea. They don't know anything. So I believe this is a crime in our sake.
I understand that you hold frequent seminars and symposiums at various schools and universities. You go to the schools and universities yourselves and you talk to the students. So would you brief us on your latest activities, please?
Well, this is it. Our latest activity is here today, our event in the Cairo International Book Fair.
Tell us today's activity and the ones before it. Like, if we haven't seen you for a while, so let us catch up with what you've been doing.
I believe it was in one of the famous clubs in Cairo. and we have invited a few of our veterans to tell the people about their history. Yeah.
Sir, why are you only interested in the military history?
Yes.
Why?
Well, let me tell you something. Military history is a very important part of the Egyptian history. Why? Egypt has always been in battles and wars all along its history. Other nations always wanted to seize the Egyptian nation and to be in control and to have what Egypt had. So we had to defend ourselves. Never we have been offensive. The Egyptian nation has never been offensive against any other nation. It has always been defensive. So yes, military history is a very important part in the Egyptian history. That's why.
Yes. Now, for the aim itself of the Group 73 historians, as you've mentioned and as Dina mentioned, it aims at raising the awareness of the public. It aims at also introducing us to our military victories. But I understand also that you do also or cover other aspects of the history of Egypt, don't you? Or is it mainly military? Other than the military, do you cover other aspects when you talk? I'm asking about that.
Well, maybe it's not our focus. But yes, history is one unit. So sometimes you have to talk about other areas in the Egyptian history besides the military.
Is
but
the
our
6th of
focus
October?
is
the 6th of October war the primary focus, or do you also look at other events as well?
No. It's the whole Egyptian history. But why we focus on the October War, we still have, thank God, our veterans alive and with us. You know that our aim is to document, first to document, and then to spread this knowledge among the public. So to document, you have to go to an original source. This original source we have still with us today. So that's why we focus on the October War, because we have our source among us.
Sir, as a historian, if you'd like to write about the Cairo International Book Fair since it started until now, what you're going to say?
Well, as I said, it's an annual feast. This is the day that every Egyptian waits from year to year in order to seek for knowledge, find his preferred books and topics in one place. So it's a great event, and I wish that we have such an event every day, not only once a year.
Well, Mr. Samy Farhat, member of Group 73 Historians, thank you very much for this interview, and thank you for being here to raise the awareness about Egypt's history as part of the Cairo International Book Fair. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for having me today. It's our duty, all of us as Egyptians, to carry this message.
Thank you, sir. And now we are moving to a quick break, so please stay tuned.